discuss this latest development on the African continent is former legal advisor to the AU, Bolu Michael-Biyi. Thank you so much for your time, Bolu.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get straight to it. Another coup again on the African continent, Gabon precisely, just weeks after that of Niger, a former French colony. How do you react to this recent development?
Well, I think it's a wake-up call to African leaders to begin to deliver the dividend of democracy. When the people are feeling a particular government and they're working and they're meeting the needs of the people, there wouldn't be a need for a military coup or people clamoring for a change of government. And, this happening in quick succession is going to catch the ECOWAS and the AU are back because I don't think it's happened this way. That is, Niger and, then Gabon following after a couple of days or weeks, So it's just a wake-up call for African government to begin to take leadership serious and deliver the dividend of democracy.
All right, we know that recently, Gabon over the weekend just concluded its elections, and the plotters highlighted irregularities in this particular election. We also understand that the Odimba, that's the Bongo family, has been in power for over 50 years now. That's 5 decades. How do you see all of this pan out, particularly the excuse the plotters gave, saying that the reason is due to the irregularities in the election? Do you think this holds water?
Yeah, I think so because looking at the posture of the government, of the ruling party and the government in power in the run up to the elections, it's quite kind of sketchy. No international observers, internet being shut down, and all those and the airways being closed. What are we hiding? What are they hiding? If there's nothing fishy, then they should allow for as much transparency as much as possible. But that was not the case in Gabon, and for them to say that, oh, okay, that the election seems to be kind of sketchy, I think they have proof to that. The posture of the ruling party and the government in power and the run up towards the election didn't suggest any form of transparency and seriousness in conducting a free and fair election.
How do you perceive Gabonese, are taking this particular recent development, given the fact that, a particular family has been in power for decades, and right now the military has sort of toppled the government? How do you perceive the citizens, in Gabon are actually, taking this big news?
Gabon is not a monarchy, and they've been the particular family has been in power for over 50 years, and it's a very rich country, and one family has been controlling the resources, and it's also a country that suffered from constitutional coup because in 2003 the late Omar Bongo lifted the term limits, and because the military they have a professional obligation to pay allegiance to whoever is in power, for them to say that or to tell the Gabonese people that they are on their road to happiness, it means that they themselves are not happy. And because the military are the last to surrender, we can as well say that the average Gabonese as well is not happy. So yeah, I think the military in their speech resonated the heart and feelings and emotions of the average Gabonese. They want a change. They want a change. They want to see a new face in governance. They want a positive revolution to take place in the country. So I think the military captured the feeling of the average Gabonese citizen.
All right, now what do you suggest will be the reaction of international bodies such as the AU and ECOWAS to this development, knowing fully well that ECOWAS is still very much active on the recently, of course, will I call it conducted right now, or the coup that happened in Niger? How do you think these international bodies and sub-regional bodies will react?
Okay, I think it's kind of new to this particular station is kind of new to ECOWAS and AU in terms of succession, and so it's gonna be like an experiment to them in some way because there's standard framework on handling coups, on the continent. So I think they may want to they probably call for an emergency meeting to figure out what's going on the continent. And secondly, they may want to take a few days to observe. Don't forget that in 2019, there was an attempt to topple the Gabonese government, but it failed. So it's not yet Eureka for the Gabonese people yet. The coup has to stay, has to be in place for a couple of days before we can say that, okay, coup has taken place. There was a failed attempt in 2019, and this might fail as well. So I think the international organizations, AU, ECOWAS, and the rest, they will take some time, just a few days, to see what's going to happen before they probably call for an emergency meeting to chart the way forward.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Bolu.
Thank you, my brother. Have a nice day.